Isabel from My Wine School, where it is wine your way. And everyone say hello to Karen, my lovely sister and resident chef. And I already see Emily and Michael and Sarah, Brian, Kim. If you're wondering how to say hello to Karen and all those people out there, then it's real easy. If you're watching live, off to the right, there's a place to chat in and have a conversation. Just under audience, type anything in. It'll take you to this screen. You can either log in or sign up today. If you sign up, there are 5 fields to fill in, and boom, you are a part of the conversation. So here we are at WineCAST number 34, and it's designed for our wine explorers. We're going to be rolling out 3 levels: Wine Newbie, Wine Explorer, and Wine Guru. So tell your friends, invite them over. We got to get more viewers and work up to 3 WineCasts a night. So tonight we are doing Rhone blends from down under. Now, if you don't know where Rhone is from, it's a region in south central France. And if you're not sure where down under is, then I think you need a little help. Go watch Crocodile Dundee. How about that? Do you remember that, Karen?
Yeah, of course.
That was like our favorite movie growing up, Crocodile Dundee.
Yeah,
no? I think awesome. I was 8. You were 10.
Classic.
Yeah. If anyone out there remembers Crocodile Dundee, let us know.
Emily does too. I think it's our generation.
I know, right? It's just have like these fond memories, the bidet, going through New York City, and then they had to ruin it with the LA sequel, but we won't go into that tonight. So anyways, if you watched last week's WineCAST number 33, we talked a little bit about Australia. And if you were there and watching, I want to know if you remember, when did Australia make a play for the world wine market? Let's see what you remember from last week. That's a tough one, Karen. I won't put you on the spot. You can just nod and say you know, right? So,
and smile prettily.
And smile prettily. Yes, you are my Vanna White. And then also, I would love to know who remembers what a Rhone blend is. So in WineCAST number 29, we talked all about Rhone blends and what goes into a Rhone blend. So I want to know if anyone remembers any of that too. Mm-hmm. So Karen, does anyone remember when Australia went onto the world stage for wine?
Yeah, well, Kim sang with Yellowtail.
Yellowtail, great.
In the market.
Yeah, Yellowtail launched in 2001, and it was in the mid-90s they did that study that really propelled them into the world stage. And again, yes, with Yellowtail, we had the 2001. Hippie Boy came in with 02. You're right on the money with that. Good job. People were listening, not just drinking last week, listening too. And I also asked about the Rhone blends. Let's see if anyone remembers what a Rhone blend was. People are just drinking during the WineCAST. It's understood. It's forgivable because that's what I do too. When I'm watching, right? Not when I'm on the job, of course not. But when we talk about a Rhone blend, what we talk about are Grenache, Syrah, and Mourvedre being the 3 primary grapes. So, and this is usually what we call a Southern Rhone blend. So usually there's about, anywhere from 60 to 80% Grenache. Syrah is going to have, 10 to 15%. And then Mourvedre, Cinsault, Counoise, Carignan, the list goes on and on, will make up the remaining amount of that. See, no one came in on that. Was that too easy? I think that was too easy for everyone. Like, I'm not even gonna, I don't even want to waste my finger power tonight on a question so easy. So what's interesting is that in the Southern Rhone, you see these blends that in other parts of the world are called GSM blends. Now here's a twist. In the Northern Rhone, what the Northern Rhone is known for is blending black grapes or red grapes with white grapes. Okay, I know, crazy, right? Blasphemy, it's just craziness. And let's take a look at where this is going on in the Rhone. This is a fantastic map from Von Rhone, it's von-rhone.com or Interrhone. And this is the Rhone Valley. You see at the top it's real narrow. That's what we would call the Northern Rhone. At the bottom where it really spreads out, that's the Southern Rhone. So in the Southern Rhone is where we're going to see that GSM blend. But it's in the Northern Rhone that we start to see these crazy blends of red with white. Specifically, if you start at the top, Côte Rôtie, and then in the middle of the map there, Saint Joseph, Saint Joe, if you get, not all chummy with wine. And then you've got Crozes Hermitage and Hermitage. All of those actually, the wine laws say that you can blend a certain amount of white grapes in with the red grapes to make red wine. Not to make a rosé wine, not just to make a red wine, which is, it sounds really such a crazy idea. But what's interesting is this happens in other parts of the world too. In fact, just to the south, the wine law for southern Rhone actually says you can blend up to 5% white grapes in. So it's a little unknown fact out there. Also, I've heard in Piedmont in Italy, sometimes they blend a little Arnese, excuse my Italian, with the Nebbiolo grape. That shocked me. So this isn't the only place doing it, but I would say it's probably one of the most glamorous and imitated, especially the Côte Rôtie. So Côte Rôtie means the roasted slope because it's so steep and just gets a ton of sunlight. And it's in the Côte Rôtie that we see this blend, which is Syrah with Viognier. Up to 20% Viognier is allowed. Now, pardon me. So here we are. We see Syrah and Viognier up to 20% in the Côte Rôtie. And this probably gets you asking, well, why? Why do we see this Viognier being able to be blended or to be co-fermented, in fact, with a red grape? A white grape with a red grape. Well, I wish Philippe could tell you himself. He actually told me. Here we are at the Côte Rôtie. I snapped a shot while he was talking. And it would sound so much better in his French accent. But you guys are going to have to settle for my Midwestern accent tonight as I tell you about why the Viognier is allowed by the wine law to be blended in. History. It's as simple as that. Prior to the creation of wine laws, or AOCs, in France, you had less importance placed on the grape varietal. And as such, what happened in vineyards is they were a lot less organized than they are today. In the vineyards, you'd have some Cab next to some Merlot, and maybe we'll have a little Sauvignon Blanc next to that. Or here in the Rhone, you'd see Syrah right next to Viognier. And then they would just harvest it all together, even ferment it all together. And that's your wine. It's called a field blend. So when the wine laws, or the AOCs, came around in about the 1930s, instead of just throwing everything on its head, they said, let's just do what's been done historically. Up to 20% Viognier, well, that's going to take care of all of our producers. They're not going to have to replant just to abide by the law. If you look at this vineyard, I think you can tell how steep this vineyard is. Can you imagine if you had to replant that all in one blow? What happened is, over time, people were able to replant and separate out the grapes so that Syrah could be in a block and Viognier could be in a different block, but that takes a lot of time and effort. So over time we saw that, but what you also saw was a reduction of the amount of Viognier in the blends. So, this is Philippe Guigal from Etienne Guigal is the winery, and they have 4 or 5 Côte Rôtie wines. And the amount of Viognier ranges anywhere from 0%, actually in one Côte Rôtie wine, up to about 11%. That's about as high as it goes, to give you some indication of how much Viognier is used in these blends with the Syrah and Viognier. So, now, apart from tradition, though, you'd probably wonder, why today, though? Are the winemakers still blending Viognier with Côte Rôtie? Well, I'm going to ask you guys. I want you to tell me why. So that brings us to our first wine IQ, or our wine interactive question. And this is the time. This is a hard one. Now you can get your fingers going on this one. Why do wine producers continue to blend Viognier, which is a white grape, with Syrah or Shiraz? Those are the same grapes. Syrah and Shiraz are the same grapes. So why do they do that? Is it A, for improved color, B, increased aromatic complexity, C, riper fruit flavors, D, all of the above, or E, none of the above? Now, Karen, I think this is the first time we ever had an E. Mm-hmm. I'm really I believe in you guys now.
Anyone's gonna come in with E?
I know, yeah. Just for the sake of it, someone say E, just because it's our first E. You've never hit the E on the wine IQs before. Here's your chance. Okay, so While you're doing that, while people are coming in, I want to just talk a little bit about the migration of this concept, blending Viognier with Syrah or Shiraz, to other parts of the world. Now, it's not very uncommon for New World wine regions to look back to France or Italy and take note of what went on in the Old World. That way, they don't have to recreate the wheel. They can take a formula or a strategy or a technique that has worked for hundreds of years and try it in the New World regions. What's the best is when, after enough time of that, a wine producer takes that Old World concept but then puts a New World spin on it. So that's what I want to see today. If this wine has a little bit of its own identity from for the fact of where it's from. So, but what's the best is when the Old World regions look to the New World regions for new ideas. And that's happened. And that has got to be a topic for a new day, because we'll never get back to the answer to this question. So, Karen, what are people saying on this one?
Well, Vincanamus said E just to make you happy.
Thank you, Jeff. You're so nice.
But everyone else came in with D, a strong D. Although Sarah, before you even put up the wine IQ, had mentioned color and fruit flavor, while Emily had mentioned aromatics.
Oh,
so
okay.
they were one step ahead of you.
Wow. See, I got to make them even harder now. You guys are too good for me. So, yeah, it's interesting. So, well, I should tell you what the right answer is first, right? It is D. You guys are spot on. And Vincanamus, you get extra credit for doing E, too. E is for extra credit here. Okay, but let's get back to business here. Improved color. Very interesting concept. You wouldn't think by adding white grapes you get an improved color. But it's interesting how these two grapes come together. For some reason, there are molecules in the Viognier grape that bind just so with molecules in the Syrah grapes that creates more stability and creates a bit of a more purple-blue hue in the color. So we'll see if we see that today. Increased aromatic complexity. Well, that Viognier is extremely aromatic. And not only that, but it's known for these floral, apricot, peach flavors that can really pull the dark, gamey aromas of Syrah out of the dungeon. Really give it some elegance, which is, we'll see if we see that today. And then riper fruit flavors. Viognier ripens about 2 weeks earlier than Syrah. So when they will harvest them all together, the Viognier sometimes can be very ripe. It can pull up the ripeness, which in a place like the Northern Rhone, which actually surprisingly does at times struggle for ripeness, that can be very beneficial. We'll see what it does in Australia, where usually you don't find that problem. So let's see if we can find in today's wine those attributes, because this is a Shiraz-Viognier blend, okay? I'll let Vanna do it. Karen's not feeling well today either, guys, so I don't want to make her work too hard. So
the only thing I'm going to contribute is a lot of sniffling and coughing.
Yeah, so don't ask me to smell anything. But it was interesting. We'll get back to what you smelled when you did smell. So this is the Yalumba Shiraz-Viognier. It's from 2008. And Yalumba is the oldest family-owned winery in Australia. So we got a lot of tradition here, a lot of history. And this wine is actually from Eden Valley. Now, those of you who like Australian wines, often you've heard of Barossa Valley. And Eden Valley is the unknown or lesser known cousin of Barossa. It's actually right next to it. And they're actually the same size. We got the same amount of land under vine. And most times people will think of Barossa as a lot warmer because it's known for Shiraz, which is a red grape. And Eden Valley often is known more for cooler climate because it's really well known for its Riesling, which is, we talked about that in WineCAST. That was like WineCAST number 31, cool climate grapes. But what's interesting is about both these regions is they're very hilly and they have variations in altitude. So it matters less about where it's from and more about where in the region of Barossa and Eden Valley it comes from. You can really find cooler macroclimates and warmer macroclimates in both. So let's check out the color though. Take a look at this wine and I want to know if you guys see that dark purple color, even the blue. You can actually see it here. You can see it, look on the rim, especially when something's so opaque like this, it's really difficult to extract a color. But if you can see here, you kind of can see that purple blue. And if you have a different Shiraz-Viognier blend from someone else, let us know who you've got. And let us know if you're also seeing it. Let's see if this is a trend that we see on all of our Shiraz-Viognier blends. So it's interesting. I think, I don't know if anyone came in with the color, but you do see that purple hue in it. And this particular wine, the Yalumba Shiraz-Viognier from Eden Valley, has 3% Viognier. So I will say that a Shiraz from Australia anyways is usually going to have this really deep purple color. So we can't necessarily say it's attributable to the Viognier, but perhaps it helped with the color here. Now let's see what we smell on the wine here. Let's see if we can smell that Viognier. So go ahead, everyone, take a sniff. And as I alluded to earlier, Syrah is known more for darker fruit. Maybe some pepper spice, but also this gamey note sometimes. And maybe some purple flowers too, but usually a very deep, dark, very heavy, masculine profile to it. And Viognier, on the other hand, is going to be more perfumed fruits, especially apricots and peaches, and then also, I think I mentioned floral, and people will describe it as a bit exotic sometimes. So see if you can find that Viognier in there. And you know, it's only 3%, which usually I tell people, if it's not Cabernet Sauvignon and it's less than like 10 or 15%, it's almost impossible to actually smell different grape varietals in a blend. And unless you're working with something that's distinctly, like Cabernet Sauvignon has that green pepper and a very distinct nose. So I want to see what people came in. What are they, anyone?
Yeah, let's see. Michael's saying he gets some earth and other from it. I'm sorry, he meant earth and spice.
Okay.
He just came in with that. Kim is saying some fruit and spice. Hippie Boy spice. Sarah also gets some spice and other.
Okay, so lots of spice. Good. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I get a lot of that dark fruit, the blackberries and even I wouldn't say gaminess. It's kind of not so much a gaminess, but what I do get, which unless you really have the power of suggestion to kind of get you there, I do get a little bit of like orange, like a really sweet orange or an apricot. Smell it and think that, okay? Because if you do, you're gonna start to see that you might get some of this dried, lighter colored fruit, which I find really interesting that you can get that kind of representation from just 3% of Viognier. I get a little bit of it, which I really enjoy. It does provide a little bit of elegance, if you will, that fruit and floral note to the blend. Anyone getting it, or are they all thinking I'm crazy?
No, yeah.
Okay.
I can see. He says
I'm crazy
I can see
anyways.
the sweet orange. Sarah's getting a bit of floral.
Mm-hmm.
Besides that, Emily is getting some blueberry, raspberry, bacon, floral, black pepper. Also a little bit of the gaminess.
Okay, great. And you know, in WineCAST number 33, we talked about Australia rising to the world stage, and their focus was really on marketing. Emily posted a fantastic article on My Wine School's Facebook page about whether Australia has terroir or a sense of place, or if it's all marketing. And we talked about it a little, but they do want to focus more on terroir. I want to know if you guys think there's any terroir in here. Does this have a sense of place to you? You know, it's difficult, especially with a region that is very new on this on the world stage. I definitely think it has an Australian sense of place. Now, whether it has an Eden Valley sense of place. That's difficult. That's difficult to say, especially when I said Eden Valley, both Eden Valley and Barossa Valley have such varying altitudes. And so you can get these mean green Riesling's machines, okay? And I think it's difficult to say, I'm gonna grow this ripe Shiraz in an area that's growing these green Rieslings and say that, oh, this is definitely terroir. Now, I will say that the Eden Valley Rieslings and the Clare Valley Rieslings do have a sense of terroir for me. If you haven't tried them, they're a bit difficult to find, but they have this distinctly lime mineral note that I have not seen on any other Riesling. This, on the other hand, I think it's got an Australian image to it, but I don't know if I could go further than that. Does anyone? I would love it if someone disagrees with me, or agree, or anything out there.
Not yet on the terroir,
okay.
Although Kim was saying that it would be interesting to have the same varietal from a few different areas in order to compare to see if you get a sense of terroir from that.
Definitely. And that's what really helps is when you can have wines of the same region, same grapes, but then start to see the thread that weaves through all of them. I definitely agree. Well, while you're thinking about that, let's actually get on to the drinking part. I've already started. I'm sure you have too. But go ahead and take a sip of the wine. And what we're looking for now is that extra ripeness. So remember we said Viognier gives helps with color. It helps with aromatics. Now we're looking for whether it helps on the palate with ripeness. So how do we spot ripeness in a wine when we taste it? Well, the flavors. You get a lot riper wines. Alcohol. Right? If you have a very ripe grape, the sugar should be higher. Sugar will change to alcohol in fermentation. And then, what was the third thing? I thought I came up with, the tannins, mouthfeel, will be a little softer. Also, it'll be the softer feel because acid's usually lower in a warmer climate, and pH is higher. When you have a higher pH, you usually get definitely a warmer, rounder feel to the wine. So go ahead and take a sip if you haven't already, and tell me what you think if you get any of those or if you taste them. I don't want to tell you my tasting notes yet, so I also want to, because I want to hear what you guys have to say, but I do want to know what you'd pair with it as you're tasting the wine, what you'd pair with it. Now, what Karen and I were talking about earlier about what she smelled, even with a cold, Karen said, there is a lot of fruit on here. I can smell this wine through my cold. And that goes to show how much aromatics we got on the wine. Mm-hmm. Did you get anything else on it?
No.
Just fruit.
Yeah,
hey, that works,
right?
There's
fruit, but
right.
Yeah, I couldn't really distinguish apart from that. I'm sorry.
No, that's all right. No.
I'm not able to
I've heard red wine is a perfect cure for colds. So
yeah,
drink up.
I tried.
Anyone come in with any
Yeah. Kim is getting some ripe dark plum. Brian is saying definitely ripe. The economist agrees, dark ripe fruit. Michael says the mouthfeel is soft and it has a nice texture.
Great. Okay, perfect. So you're getting some of those clues. What's interesting about this wine and the vintage is that 2008 as a vintage was not a great vintage. And so I think you can kind of taste this on this. The alcohol is a high. I don't know if you guys got the alcohol in that. That was 14.5%. So that really stands out. I get a bit of a burn on it. That again, is kind of typical of our Shiraz. And Viognier being 2 weeks later might actually have given it even more alcohol, especially in a bad vintage.
I should mention that Michael has the 2009.
Okay.
He said at 5% Viognier.
Okay, interesting. So Michael has the 2009 with 5%, which was
his alcohol is 13.5%.
Interesting, very interesting. Okay, yeah, and it's interesting because I get a little bit of this dark plum, and it's not this jammy mouthfeel for me that I actually expected, which it might be partly due to the vintage. It actually has this elegance on the which I mean by acid. I actually think the acid is higher than I expected it to be. It has a lift to it, which I was surprised by. So I get I get actually a higher acid, but the plummy flavors, definitely dark fruit, spice as well. So perfect. Any other comments?
Well, Hippie Boy is enjoying the wine with some stuffed peppers.
Ooh, what kind of stuffed peppers?
No, he needs to come back with some details.
I know. You can't leave us hanging like that. Just stuffed peppers. We want to know what's in them. And we want to know where our invitation is. So, no, that sounds great. What would you pair with this, Karen?
I have no idea. With some NyQuil.
You're going to sleep great tonight. Well, don't try this at home, okay,
Yeah.
please? I don't want to be responsible for the NyQuil Shiraz-Viognier blend from the New World, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, okay? So, yes, please.
All right, sorry.
No.
Emily said she ordered some chicken tandoori. It's on the way, so she'll have to let us know how that goes.
That spice and that alcohol, that can heat things up, definitely. Okay, great. Well, fantastic. Yeah, I think this is it's a wine that can drink on its own, definitely. These Shiraz-Viognier blends have those aromatics, the nice mouthfeel, the fruit, and they're really quite nice on their own, but definitely lots of pairings, I think. Be careful with the spice. It can really heat things up, but I think this could go in some good directions, especially just some easy grilled meats, flank steak or something, or like a chimichurri sauce with that spice. Could be good. Because the tannin's quite low in this too. So the tannin's not going to really get in the way of the spice that you might have in like a chimichurri sauce or something. That sounds good. Okay, so I think that's it. Are there any more questions or thoughts out there?
Well, let's see. Hippie Boy, his stuffed peppers are ground turkey, rice, parmesan, and marinara.
Fantastic.
And a green pepper. And just want to let Kim know we'll get back to you on some veggie dishes. She doesn't eat meat, so come in with
okay.
some veggie dishes.
Veggie dishes. Let's see. Tofu, like a barbecued tofu maybe? Or let's see. My husband actually doesn't eat meat. He he's the aquatarian. He eats fish, but no meat. So I'm constantly struggling to find
a Moroccan dish with spices, but not spicy. But a lot of spices with it. Like a veggie tangine or something with couscous.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, even like an antipasto plate. Although the vinegars might. I was actually thinking prosciutto, which is not going to help you.
That's veg.
Hey, I will tell you, in Italy and Spain, that is vegetarian. They're like, oh, you don't eat meat? Well, here's some jamon. And you're like, what? Like, they just think it's another food group. So, okay. All right. Any other questions out there?
No, I think that's pretty much covered everything.
Okay. Emily started a Quora board where you can talk about some of these topics after the WineCast if you still got things to say. Which is we're trying it out, so if you're interested, you can go check it out there. Also, we have posted a new calendar for March, April, and May. However, I will say that it might change ever so slightly. The reason is I'm actually on my way to going to the Republic of Georgia to roll out wine education there. And the dates have just changed on me from I was supposed to go at the end of March, and now I'm supposed to go mid-April. Who knows if it'll change again. So we're going to change around the calendar just a bit. So thank you for your patience if you go on and it changes just ever so slightly. We are not going to broadcast the first time I go there, but the second time I'm hoping I might be able to broadcast live from there. So that might be fun. And we're going to actually have a couple nights where we can do Georgian wines, and you guys can go find any Georgian wine you can, and I'll tell you all about what I saw. We can drink some Georgian wine together, and I really think it's what's next on the wine, on the world stage for wine. Watch out for the Georgian wines. You heard it here first. Okay. So with that, everyone, we are going to sign off and tell your friends if you had a good time tonight, invite them over for a glass of wine. Next Friday, we're going to be doing Foodie Friday with a side of wine. So no Thursday WineCast, everyone. We are going to do a Friday night. We're going to try this Friday night thing. And Kara doesn't know this yet, but what it is we're going to have a bottle of wine. So just grab any bottle of wine, grab anything to eat, and then we're going to be talking about the hottest news stories in both food and wine. And we want to know what you guys think of them. We're going to talk about what we think of them. Good thing she's off camera. She's like, you beep. Okay, so anyways, thanks everyone for joining us. I'm Jessica Bell from My Wine School, where it is wine your way.